All right, so this is going to be another television show review. This one's called Teresa de los Andes, 1989. I'm giving this 2 out of 5 stars. This is pretty boring soap opera. I don't even know why JP2 canonized Saint Teresa of Jesus of the Andes. Beautiful epic miniseries produced in Chile on Chilean national television that tells the story of the inspiring life of the new young Carmelite saint who lived in the 20th century. Uh, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I believe the 20th century saint should be uncanonized, possibly with the exception of Padre Pio. Um, she, the first Chilean saint died at the age of just 19 years old, and she was canonized by JP2 in 1993. Saint Teresa of Jesus of the Andes, known officially as Saint Teresa of the Andes, grew up in a close knit upper middle class Catholic family in Santiago, Chile. She was very popular with their friends and relatives, and she entered Carmel at age 19 and died before her 20th birthday. So you're going to base a canonization on less than 1 year of Carmelite activity. So, what is it about the young modern U.S. saint that caused the church to recognize her heroic virtue and sanctity at such a young age? Though she was a Carmelite for less than a year, she possessed a refreshing sanctity and message that will resonate with all lovers of Christ, especially with the youth of today. Oh, here we go. That inspiring story of Chile's first saint and the US's newest and youngest saint is revealed in this definitive film on Saint Teresa of the Andes, starring actress Pauline Urulia in an acclaimed performance as Saint Teresa and with an excellent acting performance all around. This film shows Teresa as a normal young woman who is a well-rounded person with many interests, including being an excellent athlete, who had a winning personality and a profound love for God, her family, and friends. She had a true contemplative spirit to match her outgoing personality. And when she entered Carmel, she had already a deep spirituality and a strong prayer life. Thus, she quickly ascended the heights of sanctity that was recognized by her Carmelite community and beyond. She is a great role model and witness for today's youth. So there you have it. Karate Man's in the chat room. The Equalizer 2 2018 is a solid action prequel, even more violent than the first. Tons of action. You seen any Denzel Washington movies? No, I don't believe I have. And what's the fetish with Denzel Washington? He's a lamestream Hollywood actor. I don't know anything about him. I guess he's been in some action movies that Karate Man likes. Karate Man's in the chat room, by the way. The Equalizer 2? Are you trying to, is that a trick question? Okay, so that's That's the sequel to The Equalizer. Did Karate Man recommend The Equalizer and now he's recommending the sequel? I don't know. Anyways, getting back to Sor Teresa de los Andes, um, I'm saying it's a boring soap opera, but I'm only basing that on the first episode. I watched 1 hour of the first episode, and I've got 5 more episodes to go. According to IMDb, the entire TV miniseries from 1989 is 4 hours and 10 minutes. So I still got a ways to go. I'm in mind. I'm going to watch 1 episode in between movies. I've got The Incredibles coming up next, which I plan to review tonight by hook or by crook. This Sor Teresa de los Andes gets a whopping 8.1 out of 10. I'm still waiting for her to levitate or whip herself or do something exciting, but no luck in the first episode. It's just boring family life in Chile where the father is losing money fast, and Chile is neutral in World War One. You've got cars mixed with horse buggies, and that's about it. People going out on picnics, and the father in a sorry economic state. It tells the story of Juana Enrique Josefina de los Sangrados Corazones Fernandez de Solar, Sor Teresa. I'm not sure why they put the Sor in front on IMDb. This does get some user reviews on IMDb. Here's one user review from Miss Moo herself. Miss Moo herself has a review on IMDb dated July 11th, 2007. And the title of the modern review, the title of the IMDb review is Modern Sanctity. A young girl in Chile at the turn of the century decides to become a Carmelite sister. Hardly scandalous, but also hardly typical. Born the fourth of 6 children, Juana Fernandez, known affectionately as Juanita, realizes early that the great love of her life is Jesus Christ. However, this young woman is no plaster saint. She loves clothes, parties, and sports, and she realizes she has a problem with pride and vanity. Nevertheless, she is willing to give up the comfort of her home and the warmth and companionship of her family for the cold, harsh life of the Carmelite sisters in the Andes. Once there, she takes the name of Teresa after her 2 heroines, Saint Teresa of Avila. We saw that television show from Spain, which was awesome, and Saint Teresa of Lisieux, another great saint. The edition I've seen is in Spanish and with English subtitles. That's what I saw on form.org, one of our least favorite streaming services that my parochial vicar got me hooked on. But occasionally I find hidden gems on there. Normally, I wouldn't be caught dead watching a so-called foreign film, but this production is exceptional. EWTN airs it annually. EWTN was the organization that refused to write about the Edith Stein miracle. and my pastor had an affinity to EWTN before it changed And I guess it wasn't evangelical enough for him. So EWTN airs it annually, marking the birth of this wonderful modern saint who was canonized by JP2, the heretic, who was a good writer and probably one of the top three popes of the 20th century. It's questionable if he's even a legitimate pope, but I won't go there. I recommend this production most highly. True, there is no violence or sex, but it's highly dramatic and it takes you to a higher plane. Oh, I recommended the first yesterday, 2 days ago. I mean, The Equalizer has brutal action scenes, especially the knife slicing scenes. Okay, well, we'll give it a shot. We'll keep an open mind, Karate Man. I don't think I have any of your movies coming down the pike. I think Adrian recommended one, which I couldn't find on any of the streaming services. Ex post facto Netflix. Yeah, so the next three on my list are The Incredibles 2004. Try to get through that one. I'll add The Equalizer 2 to the bottom of my list. Then number two on my list is A Smell of Honey, A Swallow of Brine. I'm really looking forward to that. 1969. That's one of my picks. uh, I'm very excited about that. And then I've got A Time for Dying, 1969. So nothing in the way of Karate Man stuff coming down the pike. Uh, I'm going to try to get to A Smell of Honey, A Swallow of Brine on Monday night. Then we'll get to A Time for Dying on Tuesday morning, which is my birthday. All right. Let's see. Here's the storyline from Chile Novelas. It tells the story of Juanita Enrique Josefina de los Sagrados Corazones Fernandos de los Solar, Sor Teresa, who was born in Santiago on July 13th, 1900. Specifically, the miniseries addresses the last 3 years of the young woman's life from her adolescence on the hacienda from the Chacabuco, January 1917, until his last days in the monastery of the Carmelitas Desca, Descalzas de los Andes, April 12th, 1920. I think that should be hers, not his last days. All right. We don't have any more like this. Only 81 review, only 45 reviews on IMDb. This is super obscure. We try to go for the super obscure stuff on this channel. I don't care what Karate Man says. We like this super obscure stuff. And that's what we shoot for. Even if it's on a crappy streaming service like form.org, the genre is drama, one of my least favorite genres. Then we've got a release date in 1989 in Chile on national Chilean television, country of origin Chile, language Spanish with English subtitles. And then we've got filming locations Algarabo, Chile. The production company is TVN. And runtime 4 hours 10 minutes, and it's in color. So not much else. going on here? I think my internet connection is getting better this afternoon because I don't see a karate man in the chat room, and I don't see any interruptions in the Wi-Fi. So I'm up over 15 minutes. Basically, next week I'm looking to dramatically increase my financial situation, both in my retirement account and in my stock brokerage account. Then what else is going on? I'm off from work, but I got to pick up my son from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on my birthday on Tuesday. So trying to squeeze in 3 reviews from now until then. And then, of course, I've got New Year's Day off, which I believe is on a Thursday. So I'll try to get 3 more reviews in on a Thursday. And then Friday night, 1 more review, and Saturday, hopefully 3 reviews. So we might be able to do 6, we might be able to do 11 reviews by next weekend. It's looking promising. I guess Karate Man left the chat room. I'm all caught up at work. I don't have any physical therapy until next month, but I've got some kind of swimmer's ear going. The earwax is blocking my hearing. And I don't think it's going to cause long-term hearing loss. I don't think it's urgent anymore. It's not ringing. It's just kind of annoying to have all that earwax build up. And so I'll probably call the otolaryngologist, whatever funky medical specialty that is, just so that they can clean out my ears. So there's that. We'll try to whittle down this list, get to some Karate Man stuff, and it should be a fun ride this upcoming week. Laters.